Welcome to XTERRA Phuket, the ultimate endurance test across 3 disciplines: swimming, mountain biking, and trail running. Last time we showed you XTERRA on Samui. This time, we are on another popular Thai island, Phuket.
This time for XTERRA Phuket, we have 3 different basic categories in terms of sport. As every triathlon, you're gonna swim, you're gonna bike, and you're gonna run. The difference of XTERRA is you do those three categories. The swimming is the same. You're gonna swim in the ocean, open water. And then the bike, the difference as another triathlons is you do an off-road. And then the run is a trail run. Right? That is the category, and that's the signature of XTERRA, triathlon off-road.
For runners, there's also XTERRA 30K Trail, part of the XTERRA World Championship. And up for grabs for the winner of the standard triathlon as well as the 30-kilometer trail run is free entry into XTERRA World Series Grand Final in December in Hawaii. So obviously there's a lot at stake right here in Phuket. XTERRA Phuket, part of the Asia Pacific Tour, which includes XTERRA races in the Philippines, Malaysia, Korea, Japan, New Zealand, as well as Australia. This time in Phuket, it drew more than 500 competitors worldwide. Amongst them, Ben Allen, champion of XTERRA Asia Pacific Tour from Australia, as well as up-and-comer Kieran McPherson from New Zealand, looking for his first XTERRA win.
Last year I raced on the Pan American Series, so predominantly North America, and my own series back home in New Zealand, so it's my first time racing in Asia. My best placing so far in an XTERRA professional race has been second, so I'm hoping to top that one here at Thailand and Phuket tomorrow. So.
The competitions that I've won so far is I've finished 3rd at the XTERRA World Championships 3 times the past 3 years, the Asia Pacific Tour champion, Australian Off-Road XTERRA champion. XTERRA Phuket is, it's going to be an amazing event. The course seems in immaculate condition. The weather is going to play a huge part in this race, and I'm looking forward to challenging myself against Mother Nature and my fellow competitors, and hopefully come away with a good performance.
Among those competing is last year XTERRA Samui's champion, David Escolar Ballesteros. This time, he has a distinct advantage of local knowledge.
Hi, I'm David Escolar Ballesteros from Spain. I'm here living in Phuket now for 2 years. I work here as well, and I'm really happy to be in this event, XTERRA Phuket 2017. Yeah, I was able to win in Samui. It was really nice and really good experience. It was really hard race, but I feel really proud. I'm really happy to be able to win at Samui.
The afternoon prior to race day, athletes show up to collect their race packs and check in their bikes in the transition area. It is also a chance to meet and greet with old friends before the final instruction at the race briefing. For some, it's a chance to fine-tune and service their bikes with the mechanics at the Race Expo. For most, it's a final opportunity to assess the challenges of tomorrow's trails.
I definitely think that the most challenging part of the day tomorrow is going to be the bike course, and there's 2 reasons for that. One is the heat. It is really hot here. All of the pre-rides that we've done, we've just been taking in as much water and drink as we can. And then the other thing is that course is really hard. It's not an easy course. So not only do you have to race the competitors, but you have to beat the course as well.
I was struggling a bit with the heat, honestly, but it's so much things out there who can go really good or really, can break you, so you never know what can happen. The good thing is with XTERRA, you get a chance to go on the course and to pre-ride a bit, to get an idea, and it always helps if you are here too early. But if you ride this course a couple of times, I think that will burn your legs. It's really a hard course.
Just tried to rest up as much as possible, making sure I'm taking in a lot of fluids, eating good nutritious food, and just resting up really. The hay's in the barn, so to speak. It's just a matter of absorbing as much energy as you can, recharging those batteries to then let loose come race day.
Finally, the morning of race day has arrived. Before dawn, volunteers and athletes are busy with body markings and last-minute preparations. It was a fabulous morning over Layan Beach. The sand and water is still cool from night's air, but the competitive spirit is slowly warming up. Athletes exchange friendly smiles and pleasant greetings. Soon, their competitive fires will take over. Here we go, it's about to start. It's a great beach start into the Andaman Sea. Although it's an open water swim, the calm sea provides ideal swimming conditions for both the pros and the age grouper. The first discipline for XTERRA Phuket is obviously the swim. Heading out toward the first buoy is about creating space to swim at your own pace. Turning right toward the second buoy, many can pick up a bit of speed, and then another right toward the beach for their first 750 meters. Repeat the process one more time for a total distance of 1.5 kilometer swim. Heading toward the first buoy, we can see the usual nudges and touches which always accompany the start of the swim lane. After the second buoy, we clearly see that the front of the pack starts to separate himself from the rest, with Ben Allen of Australia leading a three-man fulcrum.
Yeah, most definitely. Normally I've always got a target on my back, obviously using the swim as an advantage, and the rest of the competitors are playing, catch me if you can type thing. And for me, that's a normal scenario. I come into each and every race exactly like that, and it's pretty much a fight for me to stay ahead of my competitors during the race.
Taking the final stroke that touched the sand before standing up, Ben Allen of Australia arrived on the beach, completing the first 750 meter of his swim. The official time clocked 10 minutes, 27 seconds for lap number 1. A dolphin dive, back into the sea, and off he goes for his second lap. Following closely behind is Kieran McPherson of New Zealand, Brodie Gardner of Australia, and Taylor Carlton of Australia. Strapped to their left ankle are the chips which log the official time and pass through the sensor. And now, it's time for everyone to chase the target on Ben's back. A strong swimmer who grew up near the ocean, Ben was able to maintain his lead and head back to the beach for the completion of his 1.5K swim.
Oh, definitely. Always loved the ocean. I grew up a kid going to the beach every afternoon before, during and school, so I was pretty lucky in that aspect. But being out there in the water, I feel really comfortable. I use that to my strength, and I put in a good performance, exiting the water with about a minute and a half lead on the rest of my competitors.
Ben Allen, the first man out of the water with a time of 21 minutes and 2 seconds, heading into Transition 1 area with a nice 2 minutes cushion ahead of his closest competitor, Kieran McPherson. Practicing and preparing for the swim and bike transition is where it will all pay off. A quick glance at the landmark helps to locate your bike and gear. Time is of the essence, however, be mindful to buckle the helmet or you'll be disqualified. It's hot and humid in Phuket, so a camelback can be essential to keeping you hydrated. This week, most triathletes prefer to use speed suits rather than wetsuits, allowing for a quicker transition time. And finally, don't forget to cross the mountain line before jumping onto your bike. From T1 heading to T2 is 30K mostly off-road. The first 10K is severely uphill, which will drain a lot of energy, followed by a ride through wet and damp rubber plantation with many steep descents into an ore quarry with lots of loose gravel before heading into T2. Most non-professionals competing at XTERRA Phuket have a personal goal they're trying to reach or beat. A few just want to give it a go, and amongst them, a very attractive Thai supermodel whom is here to test the water before deciding to dive in.
It's really good. I never attend to the XTERRA event before. It's my first time, and the water is so clear and everything just perfect. Like all the swimmer is really good. Yeah, maybe then the next one. I'm just scared about the bike thing. Just have to need more practice. Yeah, that's it.
Meanwhile, holding the line just outside of T2 is the leader Ben Allen, riding hard on his mountain bike, leaving the paved road behind and heading into the rough hills. 2 minutes behind, trying to make up ground, are Kieran McPherson and Brody Gardner.
The bike leg was pretty gnarly out there. That's the only word I can put my finger on. There was all sorts going wrong, especially for me. But all in all, it was a fun race, and the course itself was amazing, especially that long switchback climb. You're sort of enclosed in the jungle, and it was awesome out there. The heat and humidity was phenomenal. It's a battle of nutrition to be able to push yourself beyond your own limitations, and for me, I always love racing in these type of conditions.
Following behind Ben Allen, his compatriot from Australia is Brody Gardner, whom is currently in third place and not making up much ground, but he is retaining his stamina and keeping the leaders in sight.
I think probably a little bit all around. Like, some of the guys are really strong in the climbs, and today out on the bike I probably wasn't the strongest out there, and certainly not on the climbs, but just I'd say today I had probably fairly all-round performance.
The bike trails would be a nice weekend's ride if speed weren't a main concern. The narrow and winding paths away from all tourist attractions carved ways through some of Phuket's most beautiful yet extremely challenging natural terrain. As for David Escolar Ballesteros, his advanced mountain bike skills and familiarity of the area makes it a simple backyard ride. He blitzed through the course, clocking the best bike time of all competitors. For the last few kilometers on the bike, most pros would start setting up their pedaling cadence to match their running cadence using the lower gears and heading into T2 to prepare themselves toward the running mode by stretching their hips, their calves, and keeping themselves well hydrated while riding. The final push into T2, Ben Allen is still leading the XTERRA Phuket. Welcome back to XTERRA Phuket 2017. In this XTERRA, there is also trail running as part of XTERRA World Championship.
30K runner, they're ready to go.
winner of the 30K run will also be eligible for the XTERRA World Series Grand Final in Hawaii. As for the professional in XTERRA Off-Road Triathlon, the leader Ben Allen has reached T2 with a time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, 16 seconds. Quickly changed and out for the last enduring discipline, which is the 10K run. Although being 2 minutes behind in second place, Kieran McPherson is eager for the sprint because running is his strongest suit.
I knew with I had a split from my girlfriend going out onto the bike, and it was about 1:30 to bend. So I thought if I pushed hard over the first third of the bike where it was quite hilly, I thought I'd try and make a little bit of time. But I kept on getting splits from people out on the course, and it hadn't really closed down at all, and I had gone pretty hard chasing him. So the middle third of the bike was kind of trying to calm down, cool myself back down and recuperate because I had pushed really hard over the first section. The last third of the bike with the windy and technical stuff, I was caught by a local guy racing for Phuket XTERRA, so I was able to follow him through the technical stuff. He seemed to know the trails really well, being a local, and I was able to follow him into transition and close the gap down to about 1 minute heading out of transition. It was a little bit slippery. I come off once and took off a little bit of skin. So, but the rest of the course is pretty good. It was a good mountain bikers course. So we like it when it's wet, and for XTERRA it makes for an interesting race. And it was actually nice that the temperature was down a little bit on what it has been for the last few days. So.
Still keeping up with the front runners, Brody Gardner is only 2 minutes behind Kieran. Local knowledge helped David Escobar Ballesteros jump into the top 4 heading into T2, reducing the gap between him and the leaders down to only 4.5 minutes. Age group athletes are riding through the rubber plantations, passing locals returning from tapping trees. Some got up close and personal with the local heavyweights. They stayed on course, taking sharp turns down the hills, out of the woods, and into the abandoned quarry. The path may be scenic, but danger lurks if you lose your focus. Having completed 2/3 of their goal, they just need to throw on their racing flats and stay in high spirit to grind it out for the next 10K in order to cross the finish line and complete the triathlon. The trail from T2 heading towards the finish line starts out in flat terrain before entering the twisty and gnarly paths around the reservoir into the trees tunnel and exiting toward the beach. Having drained every ounce of their energy, some competitors struggle to keep one foot in front of the other on the incline and then having an easier time on the flats. Chasing after his first XTERRA win and pushing his body to the limits, the mountain goat Kieran McPherson overtook Ben Allen 4 kilometers into the run.
Really good run. Running's my strength, so I like to come off the run and just run as hard as I can. So I knew the gap was, I could see Ben coming out of transition, and I had a couple of guys close behind me, so I planned to push really hard and catch him as soon as I could, and I caught him after about 4 kilometres and kind of never looked back from there. The last 5Ks was really hot and hard. I had to walk up the last 2 hills. My legs were cramping and I was about to pass out, but yeah, I think I got to the finish line on adrenaline alone. So.
Also having to pull through a severe leg cramp, Ben Allen managed to stay ahead of his compatriot Brody Gardner heading into the last sprint toward the finish line. After 2 hours and 27 minutes, the leader, Kieran McPherson, ran down his last hill onto the road, heading into the last quarter mile to the finish line. Two hours, 29 minutes and 29 seconds was the winning time of number 18 from New Zealand. Kieran McPherson is finally the champion of XTERRA Phuket 2017.
Yeah, thank you very much. First victory on the XTERRA circuit, and what a beautiful location to do it. So couldn't be more happy. So yeah.
Okay, so how are you feeling right now?
I'm ready to have a lie down and some more fluids. So yeah, it's very warm out there. So it's going to be a long hot day for the rest of the competitors out there. So.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, and thank you for AMA Events for putting on an incredible event. It was fantastic out there. So thank you very much.
Having led for most of the day, Ben Allen podiumed the finish line in second place with a time of 2 hours, 31 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yes, I did. I had to still maintain that lead even with a few things going wrong on the bike, and I set off at a furious pace, trying to hold my position, but on the run, the heat, humidity just got to me. I started cramping. I had to walk and get as much water and some sports gels in as possible to try and get rid of the cramps, and it subsided. But by that stage, Kieran had gone past already, and I tried to hang with him and stay with him as long as I could. But today he was just the better man in the run and was able to finish it off, and I was only a few seconds behind, but all in all I was happy with my performance. Got a few things to work on, and I'll definitely be back next year to challenge for that win.
It was a successful week for Kieran McPherson of New Zealand in the individual triathlon standard here in XTERRA Phuket 2017, as well as from UK, Harry Jones, the winner of 30K trail run. They will both be invited to participate in the XTERRA World Series Grand Final this December in Hawaii. Congratulations to all the winners whom have conquered XTERRA Phuket 2017. While the winners and the supporters are enjoying the race party of XTERRA Phuket 2017, we hope you enjoy watching these extremely fit and talented athletes being put through their paces through the tricky course right here in the tropical island of Phuket. If you feel inspired to be a part of our next event, please do contact the organizers, AMA Events. You too could be on your way to XTERRA World Championship in Hawaii. See you later.